got my blanket, I got my Starbucks. Actually, no, it's just a Starbucks cup. I made my coffee at home. Save money, yes. Hey everyone, it's Laynie and welcome to my channel. If you are new here, oh my goodness, I am so glad that you are here. And if you are returning to my channel, thank you very much. This video is exciting because it was much requested by you guys. Thank you for your feedback. But before we dive on into today's video, I have to do my question of the day. Are you a morning person or a night person? There is a chance I have already asked this. I try to keep a list of my questions because I've been doing so many videos that start with a question now that sometimes I lose track. I'm like, oh, have I asked that? So if I've asked before, I'm sorry. But the reason I'm thinking about this is because you guys... Oh, way to mess up your hair, Laynie. Okay, focus. I am a night person. Ugh! I am such a night person. I love staying up late. I naturally want to stay up late. I want to be a morning person. This is something I've decided I'm going to start working on because over the weekend, with time change, we stayed up till 4 in the morning. The time changed, and before you know it, it was 4 in the morning, and I'm like, why are we up so late? So let me know down below if you are a morning or a night person, because you guys, if you got any tips on how to become a morning person, please help me out. So, you guys were saying you wanted to see this, so you know I had to do it. I picked up this little beauty here. Online, and I just saw that my local Ulta just got it. So if the color's not right, I will thankfully be able to go in and swap it out because I am the worst at picking out shades online, so if this looks terrible, I have to prep the skin. Does it say anything about primers? I think we all learned from the Hourglass experience that you should read the directions first. Okay, it doesn't say anything about no primer there. Let's just double check on Ulta's website. I don't see anything about no primer or wear a primer. So I'm going to prime because I love a good primer, you guys. I love priming. I think it makes a difference. I know a lot of people don't. But I got large pores, you guys. I got some stuff I want to fill in, like really, right in here. Touch with silk canvas. I'm on my second cup of coffee, and you know that starts to make me a little bit weird. So far, it only has 6 reviews on Ulta's website, which is kind of shocking to me because I feel like It Cosmetics is usually a pretty raved about brand, it has some pretty loyal customers, and it only has 3.5 out of 5 stars. Online, they did have a little shade finder with some pictures, which I do appreciate. I picked up the shade Light Sand. It says it's a warm undertone, but you guys, this looks like a little bit more like my summer shade. The fair pictures look way too fair for me, and I would actually rather go just a little bit darker than I am than lighter because I feel like I really get washed out, especially on camera. But there is a fine line between a little bit darker and like, hey girl, your face and the rest of your body don't match at all. So I'm kind of nervous because I'm wearing this to work today. Why do I always do these before work? Seriously, Laynie, you should like plan this better. This comes in at $32 and you get 1 full fluid ounce. Thank you. I feel very gypped when foundations do not give me that full ounce. I'm like, what? Not even an ounce? I must say I am really impressed with the packaging. They did not skimp on this. It looks really super nice. I love a frosted glass bottle. I think it looks very high-end, very pretty. The label on here is nice. I like that it's got the translucent background. Everything looks super nice about this. Like, this looks like a nice foundation, and the price tag is not terrible. So I'm looking at the foundation shades right now. And when I'm looking at the fair pictures, they seem really fair, which I think is good. Like, thank you for having those really fair shades in there. But it seems like the jump from fair to light is kind of extreme. I'll try to put up a picture up here of fair, light, cool, and then the next one, which is light nude. It just seems like a pretty big jump. This does have 48 shades, which I think is really good. Thank you, It Cosmetics, for finally coming through with some decent shade range because you guys know they don't always offer the best shade range. And this goes all the way down to Deep Espresso, which is awesome. It looks like a very beautifully deep shade, and yes, thank you. It just seems like maybe the jump from fair to light, like there needs to be almost like one more shades kind of in there. The rest seem like a smooth transition from one shade to the next. So Let me know what you guys think. It says it is an oil-free velvet matte finish, up to 24 hours coverage, which is nice. Like, I want to be able to get through 12 hours without looking nasty because I do wear my foundation for a very long time. Like I said, night owl. But who wears it for 24 hours? Anybody? Anybody? It's supposed to give you really good coverage but feel weightless on the skin, which again, I love that. It says it's perfect for all skin types, so that's great. Sometimes I'm like, can it really be good for all of them? I don't know. We'll see. Infused with ceramides, peptides, hydrolyzed collagen, hyaluronic acid, and squalene. All of those are really good, so definitely some skin-loving benefits in here. Excuse me while I dig through my brushes as loud as possible. It doesn't specify if you should use a brush or a sponge, but I do think they made a foundation brush for this. I could be wrong, but I think there was a brush they had in mind for this, but their brushes are so dang expensive, you guys. I can't. So I'm going to do half of my face with a sponge, my real techniques. I'm loving this. And the other half with my Japanese brush. 1 to 2 pumps. So let's just do one. Okay, the color might work. If it oxidizes, I'm in trouble. But okay, this might work. Oh. It's just like barely, like if this oxidizes, I'm like SOL. If it doesn't oxidize, like I can get away with this. Concealer will lighten it up a little bit. And summer is just around the corner. Springtime is just around around the corner. So I will have a little more color to my skin hopefully soon when I can actually be outdoors again. I miss you outside. Sunlight, trees, air. I miss you. Okay, I had this with the Wet n Wild foundation, the stick foundation. Both this and the Wet n Wild, when you first put it on, you're like, ooh, it's kind of dark, but it almost buffs out onto the skin lighter, which I feel like is really rare. Most things kind of buff out darker. I am taking a minute and pressing it into the skin. I really want to get a skin-like finish. I'm having some issues with the steel glitter today, so if you see a bunch of reflection, I'm sorry. But that looks beautiful. You can see a little bit of a difference here. But like the undertone of it, everything is really perfect. The undertone is perfect. Like that is what I want in my foundation. That little bit of a gold in the undertone. The Morphe was just too yellow. I did take it back. It was very yellow. I want more of that golden. I need more golden, not just yellow. Okay, so the one pump covered a pretty darn good amount of my face. I have a pretty big face, a pretty big head. But so far, I'm impressed. Brush side. This side is like so pretty that I have a feeling that the sponge side will be my favorite, but I'm staying open-minded. You guys, and for some reason my Stila is really messing with me today. Usually they'll stay in place. I should have put a glitter glue underneath just to be safe. But the foundation goes farther with the brush that is for show. So, for show, I always say that because my husband and I say it together, say it all the time. There's a little background to it. I don't know if any of you will care, but every time I say for show, it just makes me think of my husband when he was a child. One of his best friends was telling me a long time ago that when they were little guys, you know, probably like early teenagers, they went on a family vacation together that buffed out beautifully, but I'll finish the story, I promise. Honestly, brush side, you can't lose with that either. A little bit of strokiness. So I have just found with most foundations, a brush, you're going to get the most coverage. Start with the brush and then just tap it out with a damp sponge for the most beautiful finish you've ever seen. So that is what I will do. Brush looked really good. Just a little tiny bit of brush strokes. So anyways, when my husband was a preteen or a young teen, they went on a family vacation together. And they thought they were being so sneaky that anytime they saw a cute girl walk by, they'd look at each other and just say, for show. Because, you know, no one would know what they meant, especially the parental units they were with. So that is hilarious. So my husband and I always say for show, just joking around, and that is the reason why. And every time I say it, it just makes me picture my husband, who when he was a teenager was the nerdy cute guy. I mean, He looked way younger than he was. And I'm just picturing him and his friend sitting there thinking they're so sly, saying, for show, when a cute girl walks by. Sorry. Most of you might not care about that, but it just tickles my funny bone whenever I say for show. Okay, you guys, I'm working it into the skin, and I'm so far really pleasantly surprised. Okay, let's bring you in closer. So here's the dealio, guys. It looks so good. It's such a soft matte. It's not a dry matte. Honestly, right now it reminds me a lot of the Rimmel Stay Matte, that velvety, moussey kind of matte. A little bit thinner, a little bit lighter on the skin than the Rimmel. My pores might be a little bit noticeable. I probably would have liked just a little bit more of a smoothing effect on the pores, but they don't look bad. Like, it's not like, oh my gosh, I hate how this looks. It looks really, really, really good. Really skin-like. I honestly feel like I have nothing on my skin. The color has stayed pretty darn true from when I first applied it, which is a good sign, because I'm really happy with this color. A little bit darker than I am right now, but the undertone is perfection. It's exactly what I was looking for. That's laying over top super nicely. A little brighter than I would have liked. I usually mix this with something else because it's a little too light, but you know, live and let live, as my girl Gidget said. I hope this wears really well throughout the day, because so far I'm so impressed. Okay, so I'm going to do the rest of my face, and I will be back in to check in with you guys. And then, okay guys, here is the finished look. I went in with my ColourPop setting powder. I always set my concealer always, no matter what. And then I was kind of just feeling down here, and there was a slight tackiness to it, just slight. So I did take my large stippling brush with just a little tiny bit of translucent powder, the ColourPop one, and just gently buffed it everywhere. But the powder, oh god, oh my, where's my voice? I'm losing my voice all of a sudden. The powder definitely did help with a little bit of that tackiness. I went in with my Maybelline City Bronzer in 100, and I kept it more to the cheekbones and right up here. Since it is a little bit darker than I am right now, I didn't want to bronze on the outside of my face, since I'm already a little bit bronzer because the foundation is a little bit darker. I also used my IBY powder contour, both the bronzer, the contour, the setting powder, everything applied beautifully. The one thing that really surprised me is I went in with my ColourPop Here Kitty Kitty highlighter, and I feel like my highlighter laid brighter and nicer than it does on most foundations. It just seemed like such a smooth application, and that it like kind of gave it more of that wet look. So that was pretty neat. For being a matte finish, it is a very pretty, soft matte. It looks very skin-like, especially if you work it into the skin with the sponge. Super impressed, so I will check back in with you guys later tonight. Hey guys, here is natural lighting on my phone, so you can get a real idea of what it looks like face to face. It looks really pretty. The coverage is really nice. I wish my pores looked a little bit better right here, but honestly, it looks really, really nice. And it does feel extremely, extremely weightless on my skin. Hey everyone, I am back. It is now after midnight. I have been wearing this foundation for over 12 hours now. I'm real tired, real tired. But I had to definitely do my final check-in with you guys. I do want to let you know that I have lost some coverage right here, but I think that is because it was raining when I got off of work, and it was raining pretty hard. I tried to cover my face as best as I could, but I think that is what happened there. Honestly, I'm like not unhappy with how my oils wore here and on the forehead. Like definitely some oil, but I have oily skin. That's always going to happen. I haven't blotted, I haven't powdered, nothing like that. The cheeks look really, really nice. Everything looks smooth. It hasn't broken apart. The forehead looks good. But you guys, I'm having the same issue as I did with Morphe. My chin looks so strange. I'm going to get real close. Let's see there. I hope you can see that on camera. Do you see like how scaly and how dry my chin looks? I would be lying if I didn't say that kind of surprised me. It doesn't feel like, it looks like it would be flaky, and like if I touched it, it would almost like fall off like a big patch of dry skin, but it doesn't feel dry. Let me just try. I'm gonna grab my beauty sponge from earlier, and I'm just gonna see like if I was gonna do a quick touch up, if this foundation would work, because for my wear test, I don't usually touch up because I really want to see how it wears. But if I was like getting off work and then going to do something like going out with friends, going out with my husband, I would touch up. So let's just give it the benefit of the doubt. That made a world of difference. That quick little touch up made a world of difference. Okay, so that kind of just made me feel a whole lot better about this wear test, because I cannot lie to you guys, like I've enjoyed wearing this today. This was a foundation that I got through my entire work day, and I didn't feel heavy. I still don't feel heavy. I still don't feel cakey. I'm very happy with this. Now that I put just a little bit of effort into fixing it up, like I could keep going for a few more hours. So, okay. Like I was kind of scared for a second when I saw the chin, but now I'm not upset. It has stayed on really well. Like my cheeks honestly look so nice. What's funny is I feel like my texture was a little bit emphasized when I first started the day, but now I feel like everything's really melted into my skin, especially with using the sponge a little bit. Like my cheeks look incredibly smooth right now. I am now going to officially give this 2 thumbs up if you have oily, normal skin. If you lean dry at all, this might work for you. I just don't want to give it like my 2 thumbs up for dry skin and then it'd be terrible. I would say if you are interested in this and you have dry skin, give it a shot. Buy it from Ulta. They have a very good return policy. So if you do not like it, that way you can return it. I don't want you to waste your hard-earned money. I think I'm going to give this another go, you guys. I'm pretty hopeful. I'm pretty excited about this one. I definitely think it is something I will keep wearing. And I'm definitely going to give it a few more tries. I'm not going to be able to do the 3-day wear test. If you want to see a 3-day wear test on this, just let me know down below and I will get that scheduled into my schedule. Just let me know. Okay guys, before we close this out, I have to do my shout out of the day. Today's shout out of the day is Andrea Joy. She commented on my last video and was answering the question of the day. She said, I wash all of my bedding at least once a week. I can't go more than a week without freaking out over it. Andrea, my goal is to be you. I'm going to give you the little hands up goals emoji on that one. Thank you so much for the comment. Andrea, I'm so glad that you are here and a part of the Lash fam. If you haven't subscribed, then just click that button. Just hit the subscribe button. Join the Lash fam. You won't regret it. Make sure you follow me on Instagram. I'm trying to be much more visible on there. I'm trying to interact with you guys. Make sure you check out my community tab here on YouTube, because I'm doing polls on both Instagram and my community tab to get your guys' input and feedback on what kind of videos you want to see. And yeah, you guys, as always, please try to stay positive, because at the end of the day, that is truly all we can try to do. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day.